we're here tonight with a special guest. It's basically related to, our motorsports industry. We have Mr. Ed Eskandarian.
I've got one interesting thing for you. Let's see. We came out with a new cam. We got to looking at a chicken egg for a flat-tappet cam. Some of these chicken eggs look like a flat-tappet cam. If you look it up in the profile, the big end looked like the base circle. And so we started to check some of these chicken eggs between centers and get the profile off them. And here's one that looks pretty good, but it's mighty radical. Too much lift, that'll give us over 550 lift at the valve, and the duration is too long. Now, keep in mind that the flathead Ford V8s didn't go very fast in the beginning because they were outdone by Model B Fords with Kragar heads or Fargo heads or overhead valve heads. And the guys that knew the most were these old four-cylinder guys that had been racing at Bonneville long before the flatheads came out, V8. And so they went faster, and it was hard to get a flathead to go 120, which Edelbrock did later on. But right now, the four-cylinders were going faster. And sometimes a guy would come, and now here's the timing that really works, radical valve timing for peak power. And they'd pull out a car, and it'd say 30-30 on top timing and 70-70 on the bottom timing. And where'd this come from? Well, it probably came from Winfield, the old master. So this was seemed like that's as far as you can go.
Well, that was your mentor, Winfield. He was the... Now, he actually made his own cam as well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he made everything himself, and he was great on geometry and lenses, glass lenses, and things. And he was pretty much a scientist. Found fault with some of Einstein's theories, talked about the ether and all these things that I never understood, but he seemed to understand these things. And so this cam was too radical and it won't work, but I'll go ahead and make it anyway. So this was a profile of a chicken egg. So I hard-faced the cam and give it the bones, because we've got 327 Corvette engines on the dyno. They're brand new. You buy them for $400 for the short block, and we use the double hump heads, which is the best Corvette iron head. Didn't port the valves or port the ports or the new valve work. Just put dual springs in our rotor cams or hard-face cams, and we're already making 1.1 horsepower per cubic inch, which was great for those days. And I said, put this in. We want to make sure it don't work. We don't think it'll be any good. It's way too long. And he comes back up to the office. He says, we've just made a 75 horsepower increase. And that was unheard of. And I said, my God, we're five years ahead of the market. No one will even believe this.
Ed, we're going to take another commercial break again. Our in-studio guest, Mr. Ed Eskandarian, and he was telling us a story about making additional horsepower when we went to station break. Ed, continue with the story with this high horsepower product he had here.
Okay, we're into the overhead valve engines, and mainly the Chevrolet is becoming popular, and Edelbrock used to let us run on his dyno sometimes with a flathead engine or other engine. But we realize now we were dominating the cam business, believe it or not, and we don't even really know what we're doing. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, you might say.
Well, you shouldn't say that too loud, Ed. People are still buying your product here.
Yeah, but we want to get a dynamometer, because Edelbrock sold us his old dynamometer, a little Clayton, for $1,500. And we're about ready to set it up when Ted Kessler in Buffalo, New York finds out about it, and boy, he wants it real bad. So we let you have it for $1,500, same as we paid, because we're going to go to an auction up in Oakland. Hall Scott Motors got 20 dynamometers up there for sale. And by golly, we go up there, and for $700 a piece, we buy 2 of them. And we set those up little by little, and Joe Mallard says, let me come here with there and run it for you. He used to be partners with Reith and Mallard Speed Shop in Long Beach. Well, he was there running it, but just by luck, one of our customers that raced at Lions Drag Strip, Bones Below, hears it running in the back when he's visiting to find out a little information, and he goes around the back and hollers through the fence there, "Hey, does that man get paid for doing that?" He loved the roar of that motor, and he says, "I would do that free." My goodness, I says, here's the kind of guy we like. Come on right in here, I says, and work with this fella. He's actually going to IBM. He's going to leave us pretty soon. He's going to be an instructor over there. And so Ballard tells him, now don't take it over 5,000 because it's only supposed to go to 4,500. So within a week or so, here's a real drag racer and an engine builder, Bones Below. What an asset he was to us. He says, "What do we do here?" I says, "You do anything you want. We're just trying to make horsepower. Try anything." So he was the one that brought that message up that this cam that was going to be no good made 75 more horsepower. And keep in mind that 5,000 or 6,000 RPM was high RPM in those days, but now we're going to 7,500 and 8,000. So we put it in our ad about this new Super Ligera cam. We got that name from Dave Zuchel came over one day, and he just blurted out, "Iski, make me a Super Ligera cam." I said, "Boy, that sounds good. What does that mean?" Oh, he says, "I don't know what it means, but that's what it's an Italian expression. Maybe we're for fast and light and fast." So Frank McGurk calls me one day. Now he's got a dynamometer, and he's bought one of those new Storm Vulcan cam grinders that they're on the market now. You don't have to build your own cam grinder. And he says, "What a bunch of bull you got about that small block Chevy. Why, any 7,500, 8,000 RPM. Why, anybody knows a small block Chevy's all done at 5,000. I says, "No, Frank, this is high RPM. This is high lift." "Oh, I've already tried high lift." "Yeah, but you tried out rough action high lift. This is soft action, very gentle, and the engine loves it." Well, the next one, so he still wouldn't believe it. Well, Mickey Thompson, now he's going to Indianapolis, and by golly, he's taking a Chevy V8 there to run against, I forget if they were Offies or Cosworth at this time. And he doesn't believe it either, because when I went fishing at Long Beach on the half-day boat, I'd stop and see him, and see what they're doing over there. And he doesn't believe it. I says, "Well, now you've got your own dynamometer here, so why don't I have Bones bring our engine over and put it on your dyno, because you're all set up for Chevys." "Yeah, you do that." So Bones gets it all ready and takes it over in the pickup, and they set it up, and they let Mickey have the throttle, and he takes it up to about, maybe 6,000. Now, I'm not going any further. I don't want to be responsible for blowing up this engine. Bones, you go ahead and run it up. He takes it up to about 7,500. Well, Mickey now, he's puzzled. "Well, you got that engine tricked up." "What do you mean tricked up?" "Well, I don't know, just tricked up." "No, it's all stock. The short block is all stock. The rods and crank and bearings are all stock."
Were you in the valve spring business at that time?
Oh, yeah, we had dual valve springs.
So this is something you created on your own, right?
Well, yeah, and I'll get to that in a minute about how we got into the valve springs.
Well, sorry to interrupt, Ed.
Oh, that's all right. So Mickey, so we leave Mickey's, and we got to wondering, what was he using? Why couldn't he get RPM? And we found out he might have been using Buzz Schaller's not double time cam, quarter speed cam. And
that was like a Scheller cam, wasn't it?
Yeah, Buzz Schaller made those.
That's right, sure.
And maybe that was the thing.